Dang it. I forgot to add the lip. Hey, freeze mother liquor. Oh, did you see so-and-so? She got booty lips added. And outfill that. Oh, ho, ho. Next at Theo's Fab Shop. Kick, spin. This week we are moonwalking back into some Loadstar action. Welcome back to puddins.fab.shop. I'm Puddin. This is Theo. Around here, I work on cars, and he does consulting and security. If you're in the need for security purposes, you can call him at 1-800-BITE-BOOTY. And last time we worked on our Loadstar, we got this far in our floors. The good news is it turned out good. The bad news is this was the easy part. Yay. Woo. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. Cause now I gotta build some toe boards. Oh yeah. It's up in this area. On this side we've got exhaust. We want to hug as much as possible, right? Because your passenger's feet's gonna go right in this area. Toe boards currently are completely non-existent. Firewall currently was butchered out for just whenever we first put all this together. Up underneath the dash currently is rusted out. Because if there's one thing International was great at in the 60s, it was producing designs that were prone to rust, especially in the C series in the Cal area. Most folks don't know it, but that's why International actually called the trucks the C series. The C's for Cal, because they knew that damn thing was going to rust plumb out. In the last go around, y'all knew the problem was going to be, I told y'all I want HVAC, air conditioner, heater, preferably something with defrost so we can have defrost. And then the slight, barely noticeable problem, like we don't really have room for a throttle pedal. Minor details. So this go around, soldier, the mission is to make something work, dang it. I could start looking at everything, and I think I could get overwhelmed fairly quick. I think the best thing to do is pick a side, which I like the passenger side. We're gonna start over here, and we just, you know, go one step at a time. Well, step one was actually a couple weeks ago when I realized that wasn't gonna fit, and I kind of started searching for compact HVAC, and I found Old Air Products, the Hurricane systems. As you can see, we got room kind of left to right here. Not so much up or down because that vent down there hanging, that's gonna end up getting cut out. But we can definitely make that work if it gets us HVAC. And then that allows us to start to figure out this. Then we'll that and that, and then hopefully that'll allow it to go a little higher, and one way or another it's gonna work. Or it won't, and we would always wish it would have. The more I look at it, the more it's clear to me what I need to do. Or a solid starting point would be to entertain doing a toe board right here. It looks like it can be fairly flat. We'll have some type of break over here. Maybe easier to make it in two pieces, we'll see. But if we could go forward here and then maybe over at an angle that fills in all that, let's work towards a toe board. Yummy. This would be a great time to have a level, but who needs that when you got an eagle eye? Slice it. Did you see that? You want a good straight cut? Leg placement, crucial. Whew. So that took a lot of that crap off there. Aha! Oh, ho, 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 ho. I did not realize I built a lumbar support and a secret hiding spot out here. What do you mean, what am I talking about? Perfect spot for feet on the running boards. Then this brake comes up here That cradles your lower back just perfect. And then look at this nice little pillow. It's actually adjustable. You ain't got enough support how you want, just go to the left. If it's too much, go to the right. Add grease if tool starts to heat up. Ooh, getting spicy on me. Things are heating up around here. Chihuahua. Got these at Lowe's in the like HVAC aisle. Anyhow, I'm kind of matching our kick up here to match more of our kick up over here. Our splits right here, so we'll mark that. Can y'all see? No? It's like always, guys, we just gotta work our template into place. So then I'm gonna focus on this edge over here, which, come to find out, is at a slight curve. If we want that break to be fairly straight, then we need to come out to right in here-ish, according to Eagle Eye. And from that edge, that is over right there. It's a really accurate way of measuring. Transfer our mark. Play connect the dots. And then this edge over here, we're gonna kind of do the same thing and attempt to straighten it up. Over here, I'm gonna right kick, because if this don't work, I'm gonna kick its hind end. If you're gonna be eating some poster boards, you better get you some carpet shears. Security team, how we looking back there? All right, security's napping, it's fine. One final trim down and check the fit. We can definitely make something like that work right there. So now we need to do the same thing for here, over to here, down to here. So I roughed this out of size. We'll call in a little assistance from some tape. And I thought about going past, but I actually think we're going to use this corner because it's looking like it could clear the exhaust with adequate room for just space in general. Hopefully to not transfer no more heat than what we have to, and blah, blah, blah. Possibly be able to remove that out of there if we ever need to, blah, blah, blah. Just because I want to do it this way, blah, blah, blah. Now, I know my too short and kind of guessing straight edge Eagle Eye was going pretty good, but we may even get plumb crazy here and get us a straight edge that can actually reach across the panel. Wow! Dang, Puddin uses a big straight edge now. He's trying so much. I heard that Puddin, he went and actually bought him a straight edge he's been using since he's been in that new shop. That money's just changed him. I heard he don't even build his own floors anymore. I heard he actually hires it out when no one's watching. And he just comes in and pretends to do it. That's what I heard. I'm just making crap up, guys. No one's even said anything. Well, just bless my heart. I was just feeling like an old Southern belle who needed a gossip. I heard that old Puddin don't even actually love his kids. He just hired them basically as a stage prop. All right, that's looking like something, ain't it? I think I've realized something. And that's because of this brake running downhill and this being flat. For this to work, you can see I drew us a line from that corner to that corner. And I actually put the poster board in our sheet metal and broke this edge down. Now this is also curving in, which is actually where we're getting our curve from. So I'm not too worried about that because this should suck out. So we're all taped in place here. Now I think I just got to get these taped together and we'll be able to make her all in one big piece. We'll have to break that edge down and we'll probably add an edge over here to be able to weld to the kick panel. It makes sense in my head as long as I don't think about it. Oh, did you see so-and-so? She got booty lips added to her lips. She got booty shot into her lips. All over floors and everything. All this is 18 gauge. That's what I like to use. We're just hoping I did good on my guessing. Big arrow right there, so I do remember to add that lip. Oh, I know y'all's excited, all this sheet metal work. Just like I'm so excited. You know, it's my favorite thing to do. But do not forget, I am not a sheet metal guy. You know what I know about sheet metal? What is not a dang thing? We make it up as we go. All right, for a lip over here, we're gonna hang out. I always like 3/4 of an inch. It's a good number. Cut her out. Oh, what's that? The air compressor is telling me thank you for finally servicing it and changing the oil. Now we don't need much. I mean, just a little slight jog's all it's gonna take. I mean, I barely moved that sucker and look how much that's running downhill now. And I wasn't paying attention, but I should have broke this side first. That one should turn 90, something like that's what we're after, huh? In theory. I'm not confident. Ow! You ever hit that elbow on that funny bone and it ain't so dang funny? Whew. So here I go. Let's see. Shoot. Oh! Boy, I should have been confident, because we can make that work. Just knocked the corner off that, and let's go ahead and drill some holes for some Clecos. All right, we got us one in. Now obviously we're gonna have to build a firewall. We may end up using some of that. I really don't know how all that's gonna work. Right now I wanna pick that up into place and put us a mark on this one so we can drill it exactly where it needs to be. Two's gonna have us. Obviously these ones will be real easy to do and add, and they're fitting really nice. I guessed really good on our angle that I'd bent that to. Eagle eye's working yet. And just like the rest of our floor, I'm planning on building this and putting everything into place with Clecos. That way, it's all removable throughout this process. There's the possibility we hit a point where some backtracking needs to happen. Better safe than sorry. What are you doing, dude? Did you not wipe good? You got blankets hanging off your butt. Surely they didn't dry up and stick to you, did they? You go outside? You go potty? Oh, someone's been napping. Ta-da! Yeah, that sucked over. And our lip is actually nice and straight, so it'd really just benefit us to do like another self-tapper right there. And right there, it finished pulling this sucker flat. Toe board looks pretty good. So my concern with doing this is if we go like just perfectly straight, that we're losing floor space for our passenger. Let's grab the old Hurricane. I still think we'll be able to make this work. I do wish this unit come with the actual mount, because I was trying to figure out how these actually mount, but we really don't know because they don't provide any knowledge about that, because, you know, for a mock-up unit, actually knowing where you mount it is not useful information. We don't want to know that. Hurricane. We're going to start our own AC company and call it the damn Tornado. You want the F4 or the F5 Tornado series from the puddins.fab.shop. So you remember the part where I say I'm not a sheet metal guy, or at the beginning where I say we'll just start doing stuff, because if we don't, I'll overthink it or try to figure out 1,000 options. Or the part last time where I said I just didn't want it to be a ton of broke. Well, I don't mind on the floors. That looks fine for a floor, but a lot of people's build these tunnels and this would have been straight, and then they would just keep cutting these pieces. When they get done, it looks like a crystal, damned old grainy light. So I'm sitting here staring and staring, and I'm doing the overthinking. So here's what I've come up with just to move forward. Not saying this is the best option, but it's what we're going to do in the name of progress. Did you see me close my eyes? Perking here fell asleep. I'm telling y'all, this is a good spot. We are going to start on this side, and in this corner, I'm going to measure up. We need to go above our engine. We're going to cut a flat piece that can basically run flat on this, and then we'll put it in the brake, and we're not going to brake hard. We're going to do a bunch of little brakes so it kind of curves around that. It'll then have to run this way, then we'll do it again, and the goal will be to get it to hit the toe board and the firewall. Height-wise, I think we're just going to go 1 foot, and lengthwise, 32 should be more than enough. So we just need to cut a perfect rectangle. So before we even start messing with that thing and wasting metal, I cut us a strip the exact same length, but it's only the width of our roller that I had over there. And that's so we can use this to figure out our bends. So we will want to start bending right here. And for this, we don't even actually have to use the sheet metal brake because I got the corner of a bed right there. Went a little too much. Take just a little out. We'll add some on our second one. Now if we go straight over here, well, you can see how we're gonna need more on this, right? That's why we want to do it this way, where we can figure this out instead of trying to do it with a big heavy piece. This is why we mock up with that strip on there. I'm kind of realizing if this whole piece was just flat and curved and dropped down and contacted all this, it wouldn't eat up as much floor pan as I was thinking it would. So I'm actually going to try to fit poster board up around this to fit all that, just where we can kind of see what that looks like. I'll come up here, see exactly what this angle is. About 42.5, not quite a 45. I eagle-eyed that one, got fairly close. We'll cut this at the proper angle, and then I'm going to try to fit it, and it's just going to be pushing it and touching the edge and marking it. It's not going to be fun. Oh, but like all sheet metal work, it's necessary. So I keep getting the magnets back into place, trim this down, cut us a piece now that's 12 inches out of our poster board, and I'm going to try to just keep adding. Little tippy tappy, tap that sheet metal down. Boop. I'm telling y'all, them zip tie magnets are the way to go for sheet metal. Now it's going to be hard. Yes, that's what I've actually have holding all this. As we go here, I have to reach up underneath here, pull a magnet, then wrap that, keep working her into place. This is ballpark-ish enough to give you an idea of what it's going to look like, and I'm well aware we're going to have large sheet metal area leading right up to our dash. I can tell you there's absolutely no way around it, guys. What I'm impressed with more is being able to wrap this the way I'm doing, where it's going to clear the turbo and exhaust and all that, and the amount of floor pan room we're maintaining. Basically, I don't want to end up with something where my passengers got to be able to sit with their feet like that to have room. Now, I extended this piece up to where I believe we need it before we added this or anything. Something like that right there. All right, I'll take this piece fully on. We'll square that top off, cut it off, then we'll be ready to cut her out of metal. You'll see I added a couple spots to break some lips. I don't know, we'll leave them in there for spot welds in the future, but at least for now, I'm kind of hoping it'll give us a place to be able to Cleco to. You won't be slicing your fingers like my wife. My wife this last weekend cut her 2 separate fingers with the same knife, 2 different occasions. So I actually got on Amazon, I found some Play-Doh toys, a Play-Doh knife, and I'm gonna get that for her. Her fingers are safe. Protect your fingers. You lose one, you'll only be able to count to 9. Our next step's to pull our gauge. I have to do that in that area. We gotta kind of roll this sucker this way. You can see we actually bent a little bit back here. And even more right in there. And we need to come square off the top. And we're gonna have to get us some lines here. And I'm doing this to show y'all the plan, but actually I've got to do this on the back side because we're gonna bend it on the back side. So with these, we're not doing hard brakes. It's more clamper a little pressure, just a little baby bend. Then we gotta move in an 1/8 and do it again. And again. And again. All right, you can see how we start to get a curve in that instead of just a hard break. Don't worry, it ain't hard to take a little out neither, is it? That dab will do ya. There's also a chance we can't wiggle it up in there. And there's also a chance these Clecos would be right in the dang way. But there's also a chance something half fits and we can make it work. All right, on our template, this corner right down here needed to kind of roll out. With us having the broke lip and everything, it's not gonna, this ain't giving away, and I think that's what has us picked up here and over here. So that should look something like bending that out. It'll pop into place. Hey, yo. It does look like we either need to take some out of right here, or where this break or lip stops right here, we could break it back the other way actually and bring that out this way. What may determine that is what it looks like underneath here. I think we trim right at 3/8 of an inch off that lip down there. Around that corner a little bit or something, but then right there we just do a couple little breakbacks this way. Next question is, am I okay with how that looks? That's another thing. I told y'all I kind of wanted curvy. I still don't have that geode crystallized meteor, you know, moon crystal power your good vibe energy look, which I'm happy with. It does look just kind of like a metal wall. I know some of y'all's thinking, oh, slap you a bead roll in it and it would look quite swell. But some of that stuff, if you're not careful, starts looking goofy. Just because you got a bead roller don't mean you need to use it on every exposed piece of flat sheet metal you can encounter in your lifetime. This being a flat piece, it would actually be easier for Top Stitch Tailor to possibly carpet it. But having this right here, we are going to have the option to attach something to it, like, you know, some cup holders off of here attached to the dash, all built in a way that'll help just stuff look good. Between bending that, I realized that corner right there is holding us up a little bit. I ground it down. Guys, the fit up going on right here is just absolutely beautiful. I like it enough. We're gonna try getting a few little Clecos in her. Now, if you're gonna do sheet metal work, you better have you a hammer. That's all it really is smacking metal into submission. When you start looking at my tools, you think I'd like black and red. Fred. Matches all my tools. Matches a fire extinguisher. What's the chances? Right now, we're happy we added that lip because it gives us something. With our Clecoed in, we can step back and take in all of our work this morning. By this morning, I mean today. I know I started the camera before 9 o'clock, and it's 12:50, almost 1 o'clock. And I have been busy. I mean, I have stayed hooked up on this. Up next, we are gonna, I think, start working towards pulling the dash. I know we gotta fix damage behind there anyhow, and I'm kind of tired of sheet metaling for right now, so get a little time to switch it up. We're gonna start by sucking the turds straight out the glove box. Now I'm assuming she'll unbolt somehow because I see these right down here. Now my truck had this little kind of trim piece here, and this one's full of crud. So before you strip that out, do your best to clean the head of this sucker out. Oh, turn, baby, turn. Yes. All right, first one is good. Yes. As you can imagine, this could really become a pain if we start stripping these out. So we don't want to do that. So like this one's got some crud in it. It's worth it to spend the time. Try to get them chunks out. Make sure you got a good screwdriver. Push down in as you turn where you're keeping good pressure. And so far, we've got the first 3 turning. They all came out. We got 1 left. I'm realizing this might be a good time to utilize the old kniffy here, because we can turn that to shorty and have leverage to spin. Oh yeah, that's a great tool for that. That one had me nervous because all these other ones came out fairly easy with this. That one, the screwdriver kept slipping, but as soon as I put that knife in there, that was just beautiful. You don't take your international dash. Take a desk apart, you dummy. You better have you one of these knives. Look like more rat's nest and stuff. I do see a Phillips over here, so I bet they're down through there as well. Gotta have some dirt daubers. Getting brave now, I'm going to power tools. Put that one back. That's actually holding our defrost ducts. Funny enough, I thought these would be easy to do, and the top ones were gonna fight us. Well, the top ones come right out, and these big ones, I can't get to do diddly. Now, the brackets, I think that they thread to actually bolt into this with some 1/2-inch bolts, and I've got one of them out, but this last one, I'm kind of fighting as it backs out that way. The threads from this one sticking up this way. We're doing the, hey, let's hit each other and make Puddin's life hell. You know, it's favorite thing to do. Yeah. Ow. Ooh. Stretch her out. Hey-yo. Got her. Alright. Sure there's other stuff holding it, but that bracket's loose anyhow. These ones had a Pot County Loctite on them, aka a dirt dauber's nest, where you couldn't actually get a tool on there at first. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Stroke. A little more working room over on this side at least. That's how you do that, and if you're good like me, you'll catch it. Alright, well, I shook this side enough, it's popping out. Oh, alright. I suspected I was going to have to remove some of that stuff and get even more hardware. I think it's just our wiring and stuff, cables, crap like that has us. And if y'all didn't know, I had already cut a lot of that stuff, so no mercy here. Oh, fatty. Don't forget, this floor that's been holding me is all just Cleco'd in. I got all my weight right there and I popped that one. Boy, I don't know what got my little love handle over here, but that didn't feel good. Anything else want to be cut? Oh, golly, this thing's heavy. But we're free! Oh! Good thing I rounded the corner of this bed, because you don't want to know where it just hit me. Bullseye! Hey, that radio must be 100-pounder. Cool. Look how ugly this thing is without a dash in it. Kind of allows us to see. I can now see that this is being shoved down by that not being cut out, creating a gap there. So I actually We may have to undo those Clecos, cut a relief there where this can pivot up. It'll allow all that to come up and back a level. Anyhow, that's what we're working towards. That's all the rust I was telling you about. Helicopter drill technique. This corner right here has us, so we actually need to cut a little bit of it off. What I like to do is get my fingers down in there so I hit them first. I was just shoving on that with that, trying to suck up debris and outfill that. Yeah, me. R.I.P. little buddy. Gotta love a power toilet brush. Let there be light. Freeze, mother liquor. Bring in the leaf blower. Look, I know it ain't gonna be perfect. Yeah! Don't worry about that. I'm smooth, baby. Up here where the rats used to roam, give me a home where the field mice roam and build nest in your Loadstar all day. They'll eat and they'll poop, they'll pee and they'll scoop all of their feces right in the way. Oh! Good example of how pretty this color was when it was in its prime. Looking a lot better. Now, let me be clear. With this being up underneath the dash, I really don't care how pretty it is. I care that it's done, but as far as just making it the most beautiful thing ever, oh no. Let's start butchering this out of here and see what we got. She gone. Wow, even more mouse house. Shocker. Chunk of gasket or whatever used to be up in there. Yeah. All right, knowing we don't give a dang about floor vents, we want this thing sealed up. We really just need to enclose that. And I cut out all the rust and then some. That'll definitely give us our notch we were after. Oh yeah, definitely be able to make something like that right there work. And by definitely, I mean I hope. Now this may look beautiful at first glance, but don't let it fool you. Because I cut this piece out as absolutely fast as I could. You can see I'm gonna go for an overlap here. Just because that edge is already a pinched piece on the other side and it's just got a lot of that little rust right in the edge. It'll be hard to get a good weld down there without just bubbling crap. So we'll go for some spot welds. I'll weld this every so often in here. And then in this, this is all crinkled from when they stamped it. So we'll just kind of, that area is actually pretty flat. And then we transition to the overlap. But that up there, well shoot, I did pretty good because that's all matching good enough. So we'll, boom, that gets rid of our rust, right? And then we're gonna figure out how to flat cap and more flat caps. Weld that in, then bump that baby up right here where we can get them spot welds. We're not gonna get too carried away. Y'all know the bottom of the dash bolts right here, so we'll never see any of that. Now we just gotta do that 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 12, maybe 48 more times. boy. All in all, she fits pretty stinking good. Nice tight fit all the way around. I welded, it held it. It's full welded in. Now we just got to put a little cap piece right there. It will help us out if we straighten that cutout. There we go. Now everything should be within reasonable hammering. Oh yeah, she'll go. So while they're all done up, see how that damn old HVAC unit's gonna sit up in there now. Not too much side to side, but as far as the up and down goes, something's kind of catching me. Probably some of them bolts over there if I was a betting man, which those can be trimmed down on. Looks like we'll probably be able to go right in there. And I'm gonna say that's some foot room, folks. At least enough room for someone who wears about a size 14 cowboy boot. That's just eyeballing, I could be wrong. Up to probably a good 15.5 New Balance. You can fit a clown shoe a little better. Woo! We did it. I mean, that's by no means done, but we did it. We'll take this as a win for today, and we'll be back out tomorrow to play. That was the easy side yesterday, guys. I need some more brain power, so I called in the big guns here. Come on, Theo. Get up here. Tell me what it needs. No, the answer's not to pet it. That ain't gonna fix it. Good try. Well, for starters, I just realized I don't need everything I have. I don't have everything I need. Don't you yell at me in front of everybody. Don't you yell at me in front of everybody. Y'all know I'm completely new to the diesel world here. And my thought process was we would start with hooking up some throttle so we know, what that looks like for building over here. And I bought a kit, but I'm looking on this kit and the way it shows to work, theirs don't even have one of these. I don't know what this is. It's a something. That is part of something as well. But there's also supposed to be a bracket that bolts on up here-ish. For me, it was knowing more or less, is this our furthest point back on our system? And I believe that answer to be yes. I think this is going to come out of there, and then a heim joint's going to end up going right there on a throttle rod that comes up and connects to the Bluetooth piece. So just knowing that is our furthest point back, because that cycles this way, we should be fine to build around this. So what I'm going to tell myself anyhow. I'm hoping we can use our template from yesterday, but she won't come as far over. But if we can get a toe board up into place, that obviously fills up the big chunk, and then maybe we'll wrap the top, and then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll give up and burn her to the ground. Whew. Don't mess with me, Loadstar. This was like that over there, so it'll be like this over here. We will have to do a little reverse brake. Very nice. 11 5/8 from our split to that edge. So we'll mark that. Up at the top though, we could go quite a bit more than that. Probably 16.5. And we'll use our straight edge on the side that needs to be longer. Take it to the 16 and let's go 3/8. Dang it, I forgot to add the lip. All right, I remade her, added a lip. That's part of the sheet medaling, guys. Sometimes you just make a mess up. All right, second version here with the lip. Glad we added that back. She fits like a charm. That template was perfect. Now we come up right over to there and we run right up over where we measured to. We're doing good, folks. That was certainly the easy part. Oh, now all that's left is everything. And don't forget, over here we got the old double humps. That old Chevrolet out here with that small block Chevy, she had them double hump heads on her. That baby would run. And I had old boy pulled up next to me with a Hemming. I looked at him, told him when that green light turns green, all he's gonna see is my tail lights, and that's all he did see. I think what we're gonna have to do is lay a small piece in there. We'll lay it over and push down to here, and then push up over there. And I'm gonna try to figure out, we'll have to put some curve in this side. It'll be flat on that side. And we're just gonna try to pocket this corner up. If we're gonna bend poster board into place, it's always a good thing to get rid of the extra we know we won't need, where it don't fight us as we try to, especially in a situation like this where we're gonna try to bend it. It's also not good to cut off too much like I just did. So you'll see I added some little tabby tabs where we've got somewhere to Cleco this into place with. I don't know those will stay, but we gotta have some way of holding it. Now where the curve is, the cut is, we've got to curve this piece some. I kind of need to match it to what we got over there. So we should definitely eyeball it from 5 foot away and then say, well, it kind of looks like there's some curve at the bottom. Then it kind of flattens out, so to speak, a hair, runs up to in there-ish, and then curve kind of starts back. Oh yeah, we should probably have to pay attention to the angle too, you know. Maybe we could take the curve out of this that we put in there by shoving it like that, and you see what we're trying to do anyhow. Oh! 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 Watch out! The left tap from the whole sheet metal break. I don't know why I broke that one. I shouldn't have. Forgot I kind of done it where it can lay over and attach to the tunnel. It's all right. Don't be scared, guys. It's just metal. My buddy Hammer don't give a damn. It's my fancy metal anvil. We're getting warmer. That was so much fun. Next at Theo's Fab Shop, we are gonna continue to make stuff up as we go. 17 inches. Remember that first piece I cut for over there that we ended up not using that should be exactly 12 inches that we can just cut down to 17 inches? Yeah, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. That's what yeah, watch out, the dusty floors will get you. Trimmed our gauge down as well. Well, I thought that's what we were gonna need. We'll be getting too close to that. So we may need something like that instead. On the other side, I got a little too carried away. See these little baby bumps I'm doing here like that? Not baby bump like your old lady's pregnant. Got that show. Talking about baby bump. Just barely bump that sucker. And the more bumps we do, and in small increments, the smoother it's gonna look. Kind of like a slip roll effect. We better go check it. All right, my brother-in-law said, oh, that's my fuel return line. I looked up and found a little block that banjo bolt hooks up to and rubber hoses feed off of it. Because we're gonna use that air dog kit, whatever that means. I don't speak diesel. All that matters to me is I cut a slot up there where that can slide through, kind of like the other side. And when we match that up right there, we are clearing everything we need to clear. Let me figure out how to get this temped up. Ooh, this may be the time to use a very, very advanced sheet metal tool and technique. First, you want to wipe down all your metal. Get it nice and clean. And we want to get our knee pad. so my knees don't hate me. Then we want to get our friend Gorilla Tape. Oh, that's right. This may be the time to do a little tape action. All I did was tape my own hand together. That takes talent, folks. That looks like a successful temporary install to me. The question is, if we lean this back, will this come up here? The answer is yes, but then we start to lose our nice clean edge. You know what the answer is, right? Right. More tape. We'll take that to our wiper motor, arm thingy, lever, not motor, lever. Then we'll lean that a little more straight up and down where we want it. And we'll push that back, and that will match it. Yes. I had to build that piece in 3 pieces. Some of that will curve, some needs a slight jog or break. Still trying my best to not go geode, electrode, or whatever. I don't think we require a lot of break. 3 little ones for a little curvature. Okay, okay. This is kind of holding us up. We're gonna have to kind of do like our one piece. I'm just gonna have to manipulate it and work it. But I think we may be able to do something like this. If we were welding in right now, I'd done tacked it and started hammering. Give her the classic tack and pound. Tack it down, then give it a pound. That sounds a little inappropriate. I'm talking about sheet metal work. That's old tack and pound. Oh no, we're officially a Geo Metro thingy. Yeah. I've got this corner touching right where I want it. We can attach this piece to this piece, making it one. A little pro tip for you on tacking that. The metal actually welds together better when you get both sides, not just one. Don't forget that. And this is actually popping down into place pretty good. Now, if you're wondering why we're doing it like this, it's so this can kick up at an angle over there to our firewall. Then we'll cut the corner off of this underneath there. Remember that piece of the throttle I told you was the furthest to the back? Well, I did that with that piece right there in mind, because once we trim that corner off of that, we'll have a nice little pocket right there for that to sit in. No worry of hitting it. And I know I'm putting those bends in there, but we're meeting up to a curve here, and I didn't do any sharp breaks with doing the few subtle ones. It's still done a good job of not looking just like those crazy hard breaks. So I'm gonna have to bend on this a little bit now, and it does look like this one big piece is gonna work out pretty good. Going for it. So kind of what I'm aiming to do now is attach this piece to this piece to this piece, and then we'll come up with a filler piece here. This will all be one big piece. We're good to right there, but right in there we're gonna have to do a relief cut. That's overlapping. Back up in here's overlapping, but that's okay. Once we pull all that out, we can trim a little bit and weld it up. We tack it there, and then weld that first 1/2 inch. We'll be able to tap that from the backside when it's pulled out, and it'll transition. Oh, be careful saying the T word. Can't just throw transition around anymore. And be careful, keep her in the same spot. For our last piece here, I'm just gonna give the dirty finger special. Get your dirty finger and you just rub it on there, and it'll show where it wants to be. Tell y'all what, I'm gonna remove this. It should be in a way where we can finish it up as one big piece. And if when we get done, this goes back in one big piece, we're gonna be happy. bend right there. Marked. We're gonna have to trim some of that off. It's hitting my OG brace over there where I let that overlap. No big deal. Right here's about the worst we've done. About a 1/4 inch gap, but like I said, we'll tap that on the back side, close that gap up. Run the cutoff wheel down through here to get rid of that right there, and finish welding her up. You gotta be careful how you tap on it though, because you'll start moving stuff to places it don't belong. There you go. 1/4 inch gap just become the 1/8 inch gap. I was smoking a minute ago. Add a little sheet metal camouflage, front side and back. We're not gonna try to smooth any more than that. Scratches are kind of deep. I'm not even gonna work at taking them out because we know eventually this is all gonna get sanded, painted, glued to, whatever. I don't know how well carpet's gonna work in this area. That'll be a problem for when we get there. We just hope this crazy piece right here goes back in. All right, okay. Pretty happy with that. It don't look like the geode crystal shape I was worried about because we got a curve here. This is curved, that's curved, curved down here. And the brakes are so subtle that they're kind of a curve overall. I think she looks really good. Ooh, wonder if this side naps as good as the other side. Ooh, slightly better perhaps. This side has whooped me today, guys. It's perk near 3 o'clock. The toe board obviously got finished fairly quick, so the rest of this has just been, you know, a time-consuming day of cutting poster board and then making it out of metal. I think for today, I'm gonna go ahead and pull these pedals. Looks like if we take out the studs on this side and then a couple sets of bolts up here, we can drop this whole assembly out of here. Over there we found the mouse. Over here we found the house. Rust and rat turds, the gift that keeps on giving. New day, new me. It's actually the weekend, and I showed y'all we ended last on sucking some turds. And like this side, I just patched in that side. However, it was quick and easy and made sense. My girls are having a girl exclusive party tonight. And they're like, oh, well, you could hang out with so-and-so or do this or do that. Joke's on you guys. Y'all forgot for some reason that I love being in my shop. So you know what me and Theo says, it's boys night. So first thing we need to do is get a level surface. Here's a pro tip. If you need something level, get a level. So I'm just gonna put us a mark on here. Then we're gonna use our dollar store rollers that bend. And I'm gonna do what I can to draw us a straight line around this whole thing. Curveball. Here's something I just thought about. I told y'all I'll refuse to make the like trans tunnel and all that removable. If we made the very top of this basically a lid removable just on the back side, if you ever had to work back there, you would then have the option of pulling the dash out of this. That would be a lot less work versus pulling the entire cab for, you know, a leaking valve cover gasket at the very back or something. I'm gonna go 2.5 wide and 36 1/4 long. my idea is we go over about 3/4 of an inch. And that 3/4 we want to leave perfectly flat. The rest of that, we're going to use our technique of our sheet metal break of doing multiple breaks to kind of create a curve. Pretty happy with that. Make sure our 3/4 inch lip is on top. Hey, we got room to fit. There's hope yet. Looks good to me. Yeah, let me look closer. Yeah, sure, run. Well, here's where we're at. Cut that monstrosity out. Where we're trying to build a skeleton spine, more like scrap metal. I cut that out. Got them clamps I hate, clamping that piece in and that piece in. And then I still don't know this is gonna work, but we're gonna try the classic paper template. Same technique. I marked every 1/8 inch, put some bends in it. And then on this, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 relief cuts. All right, we're starting to kind of rub right there. Shoot. Ah, screw it. I ain't scared of commitment. Weld it up and smooth it out. So with that smooth out, I just take a scrap piece and weld it on top there. Come check this out. Celebrating because it's gonna half work. And by half work, I mean for no more time I spent smoothing that out. It looks pretty stinking good. Welcome back, party people. Party people, welcome back. This morning, I got out here nice and early, and I'm carrying on with what we were doing. Of course, I gotta take that out and smooth it all up. However, we are to a point, now that all that's blending GUD good enough, I'm confident that with our toe boards, what we've got of the doghouse so far, our floor pans, our tunnel, we're committed. This is going in this truck. We are not changing this no matter how complicated the pedals get at this point. We've just simply gone too far. We can't go back now. All right, that was supposed to be dramatic. Anyhow, I need to pull that piece out. But what I think I'm gonna do is actually pull all of it out, because I'm gonna go ahead. We've got a ton of holes I need to drill for like spot welds. There you have it. One very simple sheet metal kit for a Loadstar that's channeled on a GM chassis with a Cummins and a 6-speed. You can buy that at Walmart. Oh, and as you can imagine, there's hardly any prep work to do here. Right. Holy guacamole. Prepping these is just drilling spot or holes for spot welds just everywhere. Gotta do the tunnel. And then where stuff's gonna overlap, I'm going ahead and I'm grinding on it and shooting some primer. Hey Puddin', is that weld through? Boy, you don't use that weld through primer, then it won't weld good. You gotta use a weld through. Here's a little pro tip. Any primer's weld through if you burn it hot enough. Now as we prep and finish our pieces as they go back in, I'm gonna replace some of our Clecos with like a sheet metal screw where it has that nice and tight to each other. And then back here, like I told you, that was a little too high. But I also told you some self-tappers would probably pull it down to that cross member. Oh, she'll weld. For spot welds, I like to turn mine up to kill mode. If you zap it nice and hot, you can get it to lay pretty flat. Here we go. There's about 1,000 of these to do. Let's play a game called Fun Fact. Here's a fun fact about me. I'm an idiot. Instead of marking stuff before I took it apart, I was like, I'll remember. And I drilled a bunch of holes on the wrong side. That's it for this round of Fun Fact. Toe boards are all welded in with all this. And before we go in with that, if we're gonna do a removable lid, then we need to actually probably do our Nutserts right now. So on these top edges, I need to put a Nutert, and we'll probably go like every 2 to 2.5 inches and do one. Just find your center on the flat spot, and there we go. It is important we recognize where the firewall is. We'll drill those holes. I just didn't want to go past where our firewall was. Drill them out, smooth them out, scratch her up, prime it up. Here's why I like this primer. It's dry. Dry enough. Now you can see why we need to do these now. Our Nutert tool's a little too big to sneak between it and the what's left of the dash or whatever that piece of the dash actually mounts to. Like I said, every 2 inches. When we build the lid, we'll end up using some cork gasket or rubber gasket, something around there. I mean, obviously to make it seal up, we're gonna have to add a piece across the back, which is also why it was important where we knew where the firewall was. These Nuterts are 1/4-20, and there's a butt ton of them. The good news is, that last one in, these pieces are ready to go in now. Look at that. Almost like we knew what we were doing. Woo, woo, woo. Wheld it. I think I mentioned I don't like these clamps because they don't actually get stuff matched up good. Hey! That 211 Miller, I forgot I did the retro update on it, retrofitted it to the automated welder so it welds itself now. Be slapping beads down in my beads. Welder it, welder it. Cut her out, cut her out. We are matching up. Standing on my floors for the first time. Oh, did I say floors? I meant floor. One big piece. I do still need to weld the rockers to the floor pan, but we'll do that obviously when the cab's up in the air. Other than that, she's all one big piece now, fully welded up all the way around. How solid is it? Nice and sound. Oh yeah, sweet, sweet victory. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to do something about this. Don't even know what size I did, about 1.5 inches. I know some of you are wondering why I didn't dimple dye it. That's because it'll kind of create a little crater there. And I don't want it to be any more of a crater than it has to be. Like I'm looking for some thin wall 1.5 inches like I got any. I know I don't have any. Oh, forgot about this stuff. These are a piece of like fence, 1 5/8 inches. That's close enough. We'll waller our holes if we have to. Hey buddy, will you carry that in the shop for me? Hey Ma, old Puddin's using galvanized fence post on his floors. Do 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 do. Done and done. Cut us a piece of poster board. You can see I got our magnets and I've stretched that over that. Trim that piece down to something that'll actually fit. I cut us 3 tabs so we can Cleco it into place as well. Belly assist. Got them both welded out. And it's dark, guys. It's 7 o'clock already. I done put a little over 12 hours in out here. And to the untrained eye, it don't even hardly look any different. However, to the trained eye, it also does not look hardly any different. Morning. Done ground those down, slap some primer on. As you can imagine, getting a right angle in there was difficult. I actually did most of that with the pneumatic cutoff wheel. Just use that cutting edge and grind that down. Then smooth her out a little bit with a roll lock. Then you want to take these, chomp, 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 chomp. You know, cut your speaker wire, get that out of our way. Cut us a 14 by 18 piece. And of course, boop, we lock her on. And then as we go around here, our rib nuts are gonna identify themselves pretty easy. Here's our back edge with all those marked. What I did was come off the center and go over 7/16 of an inch, and then just kind of followed our goofy shape here. And then we'll just cut this out. Of course, we'll round a corner or two. We're hoping that's how you figure out an odd shaped piece of whatever template. Refine a corner or two. Had to add just a little. Oh, I lost the panel. I'm not a very good bead roller, guys. I just don't use it enough. That's all right, because not everything needs 1,000 bead rolls, like I said. However, when it comes time for something that does need bead rolls, I'm not very good. Ta-da! Drilled all of our holes out to 5/16 where they had a little bit of slop on purpose. And I just ordered some new quarter 20s that got the flange and everything on them that'll help cover up that. But that makes them all start nice and easy. With her fully bolted in, next we're gonna bend up some metal and weld it on this edge where it actually caps this. Psych! I don't give a damn enough to do that. With a piece of cork or rubber or something underneath there, that's gonna seal up plenty fine. You can't see any of it when the dash is in, so it looks plenty fine as well. For those tight, the most we'll do is go around and just kind of tap that edge down with the sheet metal hammer just to kind of round it. That's looking much better. You like that fancy hammer right there? Well, that don't really fit in there, does it? Just smack it with something heavy. That looks a lot better with that laid down on them edges. Guys, yes, we did it. We've done it. I know we've got a firewall to build, and I know we've got rockers to still attach in the future, but we are sheet metaled in, and holy cow, was that a lot of work. But we are finally ready to move forward with something. Just give me anything besides sheet metal. So I'm kind of thinking here, sheet metal's boring, y'all know it, I've been kind of speeding through it, but the thing is there's more to do. We've got the firewall, obviously we need to figure out. There's a little bit of rust on the cowl. There's some sheet metal. There's stuff that's gonna have to be finished out on the bottom side of this truck we put the floors together on top. That don't mean it just makes the bottom pretty, right? There's a little bit of rust on the back of the cab. The cowl and the back of the cab should be about the last rust left in it. We've already replaced the fender and done some other rust repair on it here or there. I think I'm gonna kind of change plans right now. I planned at this point to then start messing with the pedals, dash, maybe build a cup holder or something like that. But I'm realizing, as boring as sheet metal is, we ought to just try to get it all done where hopefully y'all don't have to see this boring stuff again. So I think we're gonna pull the cab so we can finish out sheet metal. Now that's easier said than done. Moving this truck over to this spot to get it to the lift is extremely difficult. That truck's heavy. Yes, I have the skid steer. Yes, skid steers are good for just tearing up stuff. I had whammied the grill on this thing before. I don't want to do it again. The more weight I keep adding, the harder this thing gets to move. That being said, I did just hear Nathan pull up. We could put him to work. So I either got to shove it outside and then back it up, do a 3-point turn, try not to tear stuff up and get it over here to the lift, or we can take our chain hoist, figure out how to Spider-Man rappel that, hook it up there, and then just try to pick up the cab and roll the chassis straight back. I love neither option. Sounds good to me. If you don't lose at least one bolt, you're not doing it right. Everything's built to come apart fast. Pull those washers off. You can see that's gonna pick up. Those bolts were in from the bottom up, so they're good. As long as we pull those nuts off the back right there, that's all 6 of our cab mounts, core support, whatever you wanna call it. That's what has that attached. And with the pedals and all that already out, there should be nothing else. Dun, dun, dun. Got our Pot County steering wheel. Yeah. I turned her enough to make her pee. Boy, it's been a minute since we've seen this section of the floor. I done cleaned up some of the mess, but there's no shortage of that around here. We don't want to lose them fine thread suckers though. Get your tiny little step ladder. I prefer a small 15-footer. Dang, looks pretty cool from up here. It's a big old truck, guys. Golly. Oh yeah, well my truck's like your mom. Big. Hey! Oh! Hey! Yeah! I'll take what is terrible ideas for 900, Alex. Oh. All right, we're experiencing a little lift off. I think the back's gonna be heavier than the front, so we may get a lean effect. Oh, we're lifting, folks. We are lifting. I bet we had a body bolt wedged. I should have pulled both of them, but I think we're off now. And our new toe board is caught on that currently. she's clearing now. Oh, our airbag lines. Well, I don't enjoy watching that spin, but then again, I don't have a choice. On the plus side, our cab is now separated from the chassis. That thing's separated from the chassis. It's big like Tallahassee. Oh yeah, work that thing, Wilma. Selfie. We have contact, and if you want to get in shape, get you a chain hoist. The first thing that started to hit was my fender extensions, and we don't want that buckling that. Get us a couple boards underneath the running boards. We are load off. We did it. Woo! That was exciting. Now we get to do more sheet metal work. Yay! I overlapped our floor and stuff, guys. I just gotta cut off that extra metal, weld up the corners if need be. Like this edge I had seamed up already, so it just needs smooth out. Then we got stuff like these pieces I had built up here around the radiator support. I can tack them all in and then just smooth them out. There's a whole lot of that we're not gonna show because it's just kind of finishing what's already done. I will say whoever did the fit up on these pieces right here, that fit up is immaculate. Turn that welder up hot, quick little zap, melts her in nice. Primo job here. I think those holes need to be a little bigger. Try to hit that out when those are nice and hot from welding. That way it expands and loosens its grip. Ooh, pretty. Do you want a really slick wheelie? Get you some 80 grit. Put that on your DA, then you slick that wheelie. All right, that's what we're after right there, guys. Hey Ma, Puddin's in the shop slicking his wheelie. Whatever that means. So I ground down a lot of these, and a lot of this I'd already sanded when they were pieces off the truck. Then our brace, like right here, I started up here and I just welded down that entire thing. Wire wheeled that out, ran that 80 grit all over this where it's ready for some primer. Where I cut that extra off, I just welded it up. Now right there's where we had broke on the inside, so you can see a little bit of weld. That's because that piece was actually kind of curved from breaking it, but that's fine, guys. When we paint, we will do the firewall, which is going to be this little patch, this little upper piece, and over here in paint. Then our toe boards down and our doghouse will all be in the bed liner type stuff. Whatever Sweet Patina makes it, it's really good stuff. I used it on the Model 8, I really liked it. So that'll be this and this. So little cracks like that, that stuff will definitely fill. So we're not gonna go too over the top. Let's not act like you'll ever be able to see that when this is hugging that engine again. I'd say overall, that's a pretty good finish. Now this weld seam back here is a little low, but same thing, I think that stuff will cover that up. We'll never really be able to see that. A lot of these weld seams, I think that stuff's gonna make disappear. As you can see, I gotta get this side caught up now. Oh, flap attack. Even though that's a break, I welded it up and smoothed it out too. Shot some primer on the backside. The rest of this is ready for primer as well, except for the minor detail of like the firewall not being welded in. Well, dang it. I was hoping this was gonna be like the trucks. The trucks bolt on like that, similar, and on the other side there's a coupler so you can just pop it right off. But no, that'd be way too easy and make way too much sense. Woo, I told y'all I double welded it. You can see where it got hot on this side. So this has a little trap door that you can slide off to the side, and then there's a nut in the middle. I knew there was some shiny paint somewhere on this thing. Luckily the quart of oil it used to leak protected this paint. It's time to play split the difference. We need to intersect right there, draw a line. Come out here in the middle, kind of found one I was happy with. Put a dot, connect. Over here, I'll be honest, this one's a little lower than over there, but also this is a little closer than over here. So from out here, I just kind of connected, and this thing's actually kind of got a gradual curve to it. Very subtle. You ain't gonna be able to see it. Even like with the cab off, you're not gonna see the gradual curve, I don't think. If you do, I should have done something different. But you won't, so I'm gonna cut it. That's ugly. I've been grinding on my sheet metal all my livelong day. I've been grinding on sheet metal, pissing my whole life away. All right, eyeballs are fogging, can't see. Just hit my head. Hurt like hell. I could have done better. We're sagging a little in the middle. I got good news. I guess that bolt's there and it'll kind of make it harder to tell. A little sloppier than I was hoping for. But that being said, when the hood's closed and I'm going 80 down the interstate, you probably won't see it. Oh yeah, when that piece bolts in here with the hood, you probably won't see it neither. That's right up on it. From right here, it don't look too shabby. All right, that's a full 12-hour day again doing fun sheet metal stuff. We'll be back on her in the morning where we're gonna start doing some fire panel pieces. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? How we doing, folks? What the perfect balance. We started off this trip on 4 of them. We're perfectly balancing right there on those ones. All right, today I've got Slick Fitty coming to help. Nothing that we can't handle. There's just, there's a little rust patch down here that needs to happen. Got a little bit of rust coming through on our cowl area. I've replaced this area on my truck and my Travelall. They were both worse than what this one is, so it's pretty easy. So I don't want to start slick off with nothing too hard. I don't want to overwhelm them. So we better give him this easy piece on both sides. I will tell y'all though, every time I need to go over there, walking around this huge platform is a pain. So we're gonna move this where we can get this outside. We can then roll this over there. I can have a table, Slick can have a table. That way we can be somewhat efficient. Efficiency is key. I don't know what a diesel sounds like. Check, 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 check. All right, first time this thing's, one, been separated from that body in a long time, but 2, been back outside. I may add that it looks really cool with that wide control arm. Now entering the shop, sheet metal expert, Slick 50.
Sheet metal expert, Slick 50.
Now entering the shop, sheet metal dummy. Sheet metal dummy. All right, guys, as Slick starts to knock this out, I'm gonna start to do the rest of that. Yahtzee. That's a rust seam sealer combo kit right there, baby. How's my piece fitting? Close enough. Bead roll it. Got that side going in. I done been patching up the firewall.
Looking good.
We're gonna knock these out, but then I'll show you a little more step by step on this side over here. That's why they call me One Hand Willie. Not a lot of people get to be nicknamed Two Hand Willie. Select few. I'm like, that's why they call me One Hand Willie. They're like, brag to someone else. Me too, pal. Aha, new tramp stamp.
We gotta cut this.
Yeah, let's not think about that. You may just put some rattle can on it. They'll never know.
Look on the inside.
Rattle can can't hide that. But seam sealer can.
Looks like Mars over there.
Morning. Yesterday, guys, we just pushed through. It is what it is. As I worked this area, Slick would cut out an area and then make the patch. And then I would tack it in and he would move on to the next one. And that was our process throughout the whole day. He patched back here, I ground it down, shot a little primer on it, and to end the day yesterday, we have color match left over from our Fender. I done dusted that on, so you can't even tell the back of that was rusted at all. And that's just basic, like cutting out a flat piece, maybe break a little edge, and then you weld it in. We've done so much of that there's no need to show that. Today, we're doing the fun stuff. Like this fun stuff. About to show you how I just built this right here. As I worked the back, Slick hopped up here and he did cut the inner fender wells off for me. That used to be there. And I cut these down when we originally put the body on there. So this bottom edge was nice and sharp. It's a little jagged because I didn't cut it the straightest because I honestly thought we were gonna have to cut even more off of it back in the day. But we've got us a clean slate to go with now. So I'm gonna speedball this because you know the first thing you always gotta do is make a template. And it's always a good thing when the template that worked for that side will work for this side. So as I designed this one, if I laid this over the top of this, having a clean edge up there kind of stood out. It just overlaps the incorrect way. So I decided we'd make this our new flange. But we want that nice and straight too. So to accomplish that, I decided a 1 inch wide piece of tape followed to the crack down through here would provide some consistency that was much needed in our life right now. So with our tape laid out, we'll take our flapper and just flap right up to that edge. Just kiss it. The goal is to not take any blue tape off. We want to keep the spacing on our bolts the same on both sides so it looks good. Our first one I did 1.5 inches, and then I went every 5.5. Next we'll lay out our pattern. I put blue tape to come because we're going to break that 1 inch. Then that represents the lip that we just cleaned up where it'll overlap. We're going 1.5 inches from that edge. Same thing on the bottom. And then our back edge, because I know we got to add a lip to bolt, I went 2 5/8, which is kind of the same as, I think I'm doing the same thing, just backwards. And obviously we just connect our dots. 3, 4.5. Been doing the same amount of turns. That tight radius is a fun one. Hey yo, we'll take that. Next we'll come in here with Theo Doggy. And we gotta put a little curve in this sucker. You don't need a lot, just a little. That extra inch is so we can have a clean bottom. You don't want a dirty bottom. Just bend that as far as it can go. That's what we're after. Made us a little gauge where we can make sure these match. I'd say we nailed that. Simple little piece to just attach to our firewall. It's gotta have a little bit of curve in it as well. Gonna work it by hand till we get it where we want it. I like right there. Mark our 2 holes. So I bet y'all seen that and was like, man, that kind of looks complicated, see? But dummy like me can figure it out. You can too. But Puddin', I don't have all that fancy equipment. Gosh, I hate when people say that. Y'all just seen how much floor we built with the sheet metal brake and a cutoff wheel. I understand I have a bead roller, but you know, people gave that to me, right? I just woke up one day and it was in my old shop when I made $17 an hour at the factory. Well, that YouTube money. The only piece of equipment that's really changed We've got a little bit bigger table, and just as of a couple months ago, a better sheet metal brake. But everything we've done, for the most part, we could have done with old Goldie. Now, to get all that equipment back in the day when I got off from my 12-hour shifts, I had to do side work to make money to be able to afford that equipment, and blah, 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 you know, but I just made it happen. Hell, I didn't make excuses. What I'm saying is, you can do stuff too. Just don't make excuses. Just get her dead. You don't have to have the bead rolls. Woo, fancy. Ordered these for our lead in there. She's welded. All right. And scoopity beep bop boop bop. There we go. All right, there's a face any mother could love. Really happy with these. And it is nice to be able to unbolt those and remove them entirely. It's always nice to have extra access just in case you need it. Our firewall piece is gonna be really simple. We're just gonna start with cutting off a large part of this lip that overhangs. About like so. Then we gotta trim a little off this way. And then we'll come right up here and I'll probably cut that away. This don't matter, this is nothing to us. So we'll just get rid of it entirely. Probably do something like this here. We'll cut out that whole thing. I forgot to mention, I kind of guesstimated where our hoses come through, and they're gonna be right there for our HVAC. How many pieces of sheet metal does it take to make a single firewall toe board doghouse area in a Cummins swapped Loadstar that's channeled 4 to 5 inches? The answer is yes. All of them. Boom, baby. That piece we cut out makes a good template. There's old Slicky. And with her sliced out of metal, next we got figure out our pattern. For that, I'm gonna just kind of play around with it. My idea is to kind of do that and just avoid that area totally where our lines are gonna end up going through. So make like a little, well, I'm not gonna say what that shaped like. Never mind. A cannon, a little cannon. Him's got a little cannon. Just kind of eyeball, this is a radius here. That distance, did the same thing over here. Eyeballing that distance. What if we center that back up? Woohoo! Looky there. And for this angle, we want to do something off of this lip so it stays consistent. So I'm just going to shove that up to there and mark it at the 2-inch mark. We'll repeat that down through here. That'll give us the little bit of curve. There ain't a lot, just a little bit. We'll trace that out as our same radius on the corners. Whoop, whoop. Should be good. Oh yeah, I like it. I drilled us a hole and I put our mock-up unit in there. Damn! Look where I drilled center. I originally eagle-eyed all of the marks we've used so far. I'd say that's pretty close to center. We'll take it. Go ahead, weld up our holes. There's some type of fire going on in here. It's fine. Home stretch, baby. That's it. We've done it. We did it. It's done. Holy crap, was that a lot of sheet metal work. Guys, this was not originally planned. I just want to see as far as I could get. Then I realized this was going to be a long video. At the time that I'm still recording this today, I know the video is already 2 hours and 11 minutes long. Obviously, I'm going to condense it some. I'm just telling you where we're sitting at currently. And I just decided, hey, let's get all of it done. Now, does it put me behind on my main channel and second channel from my regular schedule? Yes, we're behind now. However, did y'all get to see a more fast-paced one large video of sheet metal instead of 3? Yeah. And guys, already, what is it? 3:22. I got out here at 6:45 and really got going at about 7:30. Just built those and that, and boom, here we are already. The stuff is just time consuming. However, I'm super happy we did it. It turned out better than I expected. I never planned on doing little fender wells and adding the like kind of fancy firewall. I told you at some point in this video 4 weeks ago that you can go too far with a bead roller. I think we went just right. Not too much, not too little. And more than our panels, whatever, I hope y'all seen that minus the bead roller, you can do some pretty cool stuff by bending some metal over a bed or trash can. So I'm gonna wrap this up here, even though obviously I'm not done. I'll either have to turn it into the Pot County Pinata one more time and float it and put the chassis back underneath. It's easier to move now separated, so we may just roll it to the lift and then bring the chassis. I don't know, all right? That may be a bridge I cross tomorrow because today we're gonna go eat dinner to celebrate Hank's birthday and Hot Rod's birthday that are actually 2 days apart. Yes, that saves Dad money because we can go celebrate with one dinner. But if you watch the sheet metal videos and you enjoy them and you made it to this point, I cannot thank you guys enough because I know, generally speaking, sheet metal is not fun. It's kind of boring. However, with a crazy project like this, it is necessary. There's no way around doing sheet metal work to make something like this work. I hope you're inspired, if you have to do it, that it can be done, okay? I'm not just talking about on a Loadstar, I'm talking about anything. Guys, you just got to get in there, start bending, start fitting, and make it happen, Captain. Theo said, or come to say goodbye real quick. He could tell I was closing out the video. So thank y'all for being here. puddins.fab.shop for that good quality merchandise. We'll have a new release coming the very 1st of March, the way it's looking on when they can get me the product, okay? Other than that, we're on the Facebooker, we're on the Instagrammer, and we're on the Patreon. Once again, thank y'all for being here. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Guys, this thing was a turd when we started. Before we replaced fenders and rust and some of the stuff we've already done, the floors were... I was telling Slick yesterday, I was like, this thing was a freaking turd. I would have been time and money ahead to just find a better cab, but I couldn't do that because it's Wheel Hop Wilma. We have history, okay? She ain't such a turd no more, is she? I'll see y'all in the next one. Do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project.